Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today. Chapter 131. Bloodline or talent, the limit is 6th rank. To exceed 6th rank, one can only rely on oneself. Lin Yuan, having passed the final test, elicited a high probability of surpassing the 6th rank assessment from the 12 silhouettes, which was an extremely high praise. Sigh. Among the remaining 9 silhouettes, Ka Wu sighed. He noticed Lin Yuan during the second layer chapter, considering whether to speak out early and ask his senior brothers for the mentee. Then, he witnessed Lin Yuan's stunning performance in the 4th star cave. By then, Ka Wu realized his own indecisiveness. In the end, during the 7th star cave, Lin Yuan did not select a statue, which led to a significant drop in his esteem among the senior brothers. That raised Ka Wu's hopes once again. You do not want him. I do. However, at this moment, Ka Wu was filled with complicated thoughts and emotions. Disciple brother, don't regret anything. A silhouette beside him noticed the change in Ka Wu's expression and spoke to comfort him. That Lin Yuan, having passed the final trial, is beyond our capability to accept as a disciple, including the 3 senior brothers above. The tone of this silhouette was light, glancing at the 3 figures above. Ka Wu was taken aback. The final test was left by the teacher. 10,000 years ago, an evolver who passed this ultimate test was directly taken as a disciple by the teacher. Regrettably, this evolver could not grow up and drew the attention of a different species due to their high-profile behavior. Eventually, the different species sacrificed 9 6th rank powerhouses to forcibly exterminate this evolver with boundless potential. This incident enraged the Chikuan Star Lord, who descended upon the battlefield and targeted that different species for centuries before departing. The 3 silhouettes above. We all misjudged him. This Lin Yuan never valued those 136 statues. He has been comprehending that ultimate evolution path from the beginning to the end. The tone of the 3 silhouettes was full of emotion. They didn't feel envy or anger. Instead, they felt genuine surprise and delight. After all, since Lin Yuan chose to participate in the 7-star cave trials, he was one of the Red Kuan lineage. Who would complain about having a powerful member in their own family? Gu Zhe. It looks like you can't accept him even if you wanted to. The figure in the middle teased, looking at Gu Zhe. Lin Yuan, having passed the final trial, meant that only the Chikuan Star Lord had the qualification to formally accept him within the entire Red Kuan lineage. As for them, they might wish to claim him shamelessly, but they couldn't guide him. If Lin Yuan deciphered other evolution paths, even those 16 evolution paths that surpassed 6th rank, they knew how to provide guidance and advice. But the evolution path from the final test. This evolution path, though also surpassing 6th rank. There are differences between those that surpass 6th rank and others that surpass it. Just like the 3 of them who are also evolvers that exceed 6th rank. But compared to the Chikuan Star Lord, they are like the light of fireflies against the brightness of the full moon. 10,000 years have passed. Finally, another genius suitable for practicing the mysterious yellow evolution path has emerged. Inside the palace, the Chikuan Star Lord, while seated upon the throne with eyes closed, had ripples of thoughts stirring in his mind. The mysterious yellow evolution path, obtained by the Chikuan Star Lord from some cosmic secret realm, was an incredibly mystical evolution path. This path is extremely accessible yet also exceedingly high. The threshold is low and yet it is high. The reason for its accessibility is that not only the human race but even different species can practice this evolution path. As for its difficulty, Since the Chiquan Star Lord acquired this evolution path, he has found only one person suitable for practicing it. The Chiquan Star Lord was initially delighted and took him directly as a disciple. Unfortunately, that person perished at the hands of a different species 10,000 years ago. The mysterious yellow evolution path. The Chiquan Star Lord's face was filled with anticipation. With his strength, even if he was not suited for this particular evolution path, he could still forcibly practice it. However, if he did, he could at most cultivate to the 6th rank, and the chances of breaking through the 6th rank were virtually non-existent. Only an evolver utterly suited to this evolution path might hope to reach a higher level. Lin Yuan. The name Lin Yuan immediately conjured many details in the mind of the Chiquan Star Lord. My good disciple. With a flicker of intent, the Chiquan Star Lord once again connected his consciousness to the virtual world. 7th Star Cave. Lin Yuan lay on the ground. In fact, he was trying his best to comprehend the mountain beneath his feet. Which evolutionary path is it that, after nearly 10 days of comprehension, I still haven't grasped even the first tier chapter? Lin Yuan was somewhat shocked in his heart. When he comprehended the 16 giant statues above 10 meters, he could usually grasp the first tier chapter and the second layer chapter in at most half a day. Yet, in comprehending the mountain beneath his feet, he felt there was no end in sight. Your understanding defies the heavens. By sensing the mysterious mountain, you have comprehended 1% of an unknown evolution path's first tier chapter. 1% of the first tier chapter? Lin Yuan had long noticed the vibrations of the mountain beneath his feet and understood that he should meet the criteria for passing the 7th Star Cave. Testers who comprehended the 2 or 3 meter high statues needed to fully grasp the 3rd rank chapter and 4th rank chapter to pass the 7th Star Cave. To comprehend the statues over 10 meters in height, one only needed to grasp the 1st rank chapter to pass. Now, having comprehended the towering mountain beneath his feet, and grasping merely 1% of the first tier chapter, Lin Yuan was considered to have passed the trial. Among the 3 aforementioned methods, one was harder than the next, especially the last one. If it wasn't for Lin Yuan having comprehended all the statues, attaining a higher realm of insight, and then re-examining the mountain several times, he probably would not even have considered the idea to comprehend this evolutionary path. After all, from beginning to end, Lin Yuan never felt any attraction from the mountain. In other words, in reality, Lin Yuan was not suitable for practicing this unknown evolutionary path, but his understanding against heaven forcibly let him enter its gates, thus allowing him to pass through the trial. Worth it! Lin Yuan breathed a sigh of relief. Although he had only comprehended 1%, and it was just 1% of the first tier chapter. But since he had passed the test, Lin Yuan naturally received the complete version of this evolutionary path. However, this path was too vast and profound for Lin Yuan to grasp in a short time. He could only leave it for gradual comprehension later on. But for Lin Yuan, this was not a problem at all. With understanding against heaven, Lin Yuan did not fear not comprehending. He feared not having anything to comprehend. Directly sensing the natural ways of heaven and earth was too obscure, whereas the evolutionary paths were akin to explaining the mysteries of heaven and earth in a certain descriptive manner. For Lin Yuan, comprehending the evolutionary paths was more efficient, equivalent to taking shortcuts. Whoosh! Lin Yuan's form vanished on the spot. Just like the other evolvers who had passed the test, he left the 7th Star Cave. The only difference was that the former would stand up, touch the statue in front of them, and then be teleported away. Whereas Lin Yuan was lying on the ground when he was transported. Lin Yuan's departure also caught the attention of those 12 figures within the mysterious space. Like other testers, upon seeing Lin Yuan disappear, they would only think that the other party had logged off. But these 12 figures, as observers of the 7-Star Cave trial, immediately realized that Lin Yuan did not just log off. He had successfully passed the test and left. It seems the teacher truly made a move. Among the 3 figures above, the leading one spoke. According to the rules of the 7-Star Cave trial, every evolver who passed the test would be teleported to a unified space, waiting until the 7-Star Cave world completely closed. They would then be chosen by the 12 figures. However, after Lin Yuan disappeared, they did not find Lin Yuan in the space temporarily designated for those who had passed the test. Clearly, the only one capable of altering the rules of the seven-star cave world was the high and mighty Chikuan Star Lord. Where is this? After being teleported away, Lin Yuan appeared inside a palace. The surroundings were spacious and deserted, with a throne positioned at the center. An old man in a red robe sat upon the throne. The old man's eyes were closed, yet Lin Yuan vaguely felt that he was being watched. Fong Qing had told him that after passing the seven-star cave trial, all would be shuttled to a single area, waiting for the end of the trial to choose which Star Lord's disciple to join. Yet now, within the entire palace, Lin Yuan saw no other testers. Could it be? A guess formed in Lin Yuan's mind. It must have been the evolutionary path he had last comprehended that caused a problem. I am Chikuan, and I wish to take you as my 13th disciple, said the old man in a red robe sitting on the throne, suddenly speaking up. Are you willing, Chikuan? Lin Yuan's thoughts surged. I am willing. Chapter 132 Identity, Status, and Treatment. The Chikuan Star Lord does not take disciples. Fong Qing had told Lin Yuan this fact long ago. This is also known by the major powers from the Chikuan star domain and even other star domains. Even though every now and then big shots from other forces, through various channels and means, try to get the Chikuan Star Lord to accept their offspring as disciples. To date, not a single one has succeeded. The reason for this is that the Chikuan Star Lord is indeed very strong in teaching disciples. Normally, out of 10 6th rank, 100 6th rank, or even 1,000 6th rank evolvers, there might not be one who can break through the 6th rank. But the disciples of the Chikuan Star Lord? 12 disciples. 3 have surpassed the 6th rank. This probability is simply terrifying. Although it must be said, those 12 disciples that the Chikuan Star Lord has accepted each have extraordinary abilities, with much higher chances to break through the 6th rank than ordinary 6th rank evolvers. Even so, having 3 out of 12 disciples achieve this is extremely remarkable. Unfortunately, since 10,000 years ago, when that junior disciple newly accepted by the Chikuan Star Lord died at the hands of a different species, he has not taken any more disciples. In fact, before that junior disciple, the Chikuan Star Lord rarely took disciples either. After all, at the level of the Chikuan Star Lord, unless he really liked someone, taking disciples was a complete waste of time. In the past, every ring competition in the Chikuan Star domain, all the talented individuals found, he wouldn't even glance at them. Instead, he threw them all at the 12 disciples. Whether it was red patterned geniuses, or golden patterned ones, or even ordinary silver patterned ones, they were all about the same in the eyes of the Chikuan Star Lord. Of course, he would take a longer look at a few red patterned geniuses. But that's about it. I have seen the teacher. Inside the spacious palace, Lin Yuan bowed slightly. Although he did not know what level the Chikuan Star Lord was at, it was clear that he was far superior to Lin Yuan. In the presence of such a powerful being, Lin Yuan naturally would not show any disrespect. Moreover, having the Chikuan Star Lord as his master was tantamount to firmly standing on the same side. If Lin Yuan had any needs or encountered any troubles, the Chikuan Star Lord would not possibly ignore them. In the Cosmic Human Alliance, formally taking a master is a very serious matter. Not bad. The Chikuan Star Lord was quite satisfied. Although his eyes were slightly closed, every little detail about Lin Yuan was imprinted in his mind. He had stopped taking disciples 20 or 30,000 years ago, because he felt it was unnecessary. With that time, he would rather cultivate himself. But Lin Yuan was different. In just 1 month, he had comprehended the basics of the Shenhuang evolutionary path. If cultivated well, he might surpass the previous 12 disciples. What's more important, the Chikuan Star Lord wanted to see just how far the limit of the Shenhuang evolutionary path was. He was eager to find out what was special about the evolution skill that he had brought back at the risk of his life from that cosmic secret realm. The Chikuan Star Lord himself was not suitable for practice, but he could see it through Lin Yuan. The Shenhuang evolutionary path. How is your comprehension? asked the Chiquan Star Lord. The Xian Huang evolutionary path. Lin Yuan immediately knew that the mysterious evolution path he had comprehended was named Xian Huang. Just a little bit. Lin Yuan's face showed a hint of shame. In nearly 10 days of focused comprehension, Lin Yuan had only understood 1% of the first-tier chapter. And above the first-tier chapter there was the second-layer chapter, third-layer chapter. That's normal. Being able to grasp the essence in a month's time is already very good. The Chiquan Star Lord said without a care. Evolvers' lifespans are long, as they leave EE for 20 to 50,000 years upon reaching the 6th rank, and those who surpass it can live for 200,000 years. Lin Yuan had plenty of time to contemplate further. Besides, as Lin Yuan's realm increases from a high vantage point, the efficiency of comprehension will gradually improve. What the Chiquan Star Lord did not know was that Lin Yuan's comprehension of the Xian Huang evolutionary path had not taken a month. It had taken only 10 days. Most importantly, Lin Yuan's understanding was forced. I am very satisfied with your character. Having reviewed Lin Yuan's trajectory of growth, the Chiquan Star Lord nodded slightly and said, the goddess of wisdom had sealed part of the information about Lin Yuan. The Chiquan Star Lord could only see an outline, but even so, he was somewhat surprised. Because the Chiquan Star Lord found that Lin Yuan was too low profile. As a 4th-rank evolver, how come there was no information about Lin Yuan on Kanglan Star before participating in this ring competition? Even if the goddess of wisdom might have helped, being able to do this was quite incredible. After all, as an evolver who had concentrated power within oneself, it was difficult to return to the life of a common person. Yet Lin Yuan had managed to do so, remaining unknown until the age of 19. Then, when the ring competition began, he suddenly astonished everyone. This behavior was exactly in line with the Chiquan Star Lord's thinking. You should know that 10,000 years ago, the last disciple that the Chiquan Star Lord had accepted had the same incomparable aptitude as Lin Yuan and was suitable for practicing the Xian Huang evolutionary path. However, that disciple was too high profile and eventually died by assassination from a different species. Even though the Chiquan Star Lord retaliated fiercely, when the person had died, everything became meaningless. In contrast, Lin Yuan was the complete opposite. If it were not for this ring competition, perhaps Kanglan Star would not have known about the existence of Lin Yuan. The Chiquan Star Lord had never expressed his opinion, but he appreciated this approach. When he had successfully seized the Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan's juvenile, he did not immediately return to human civilization but lay low for thousands of years, only contemplating others after he surpassed the 6th rank. The more talented the individual, the more low profile they needed to be until they had fully grown. Yes. Lin Yuan did not know how to respond. In fact, he had only been an evolver for 2 or 3 years. Chapter 133. Of course, the time mentioned here refers to the main world's time. However, the Chiquan Star Lord definitely wouldn't believe it and subconsciously thought that Lin Yuan had been cultivating for over a decade. It was just that it hadn't been known to others, that's all. Since you are my disciple, you are of the Red Kuan lineage, the 13th Peak Master. The Chiquan Star Lord looked towards Lin Yuan and said, I have no other demands of you except that unless your true body resides permanently on Chiquan Main Star, do not reveal your identity as my disciple before reaching 6th rank. Understood. Lin Yuan nodded. The Chiquan Star Lord hadn't taken a disciple for tens of thousands of years. Today he suddenly took one. What would others think? What would the different species think? With the Chiquan Star Lord's means of nurturing disciples, this disciple had great hopes of breaking through to the 6th rank. If so, why not snuff out this disciple when they are still weak? The identity of a disciple of the Chiquan Star Lord, in the eyes of the different species, probably ranks no less than that of the founder of a certain 6th rank evolution path. They would be willing to pay a huge price to eliminate him. Of course, your identity is best kept secret, but as for other matters, the privileges and status that come with being the 13th Peak Master of the Red Kuan lineage will naturally not be lacking. In this regard, I will have Gu Zhe explain the details to you, said the Chiquan Star Lord. Following that, the Chiquan Star Lord instructed Lin Yuan on a few more things. Then, he waved his hand and handed over Lin Yuan to Gu Zhe, the third elder. Little junior brother. Inside a manor, Gu Zhe looked at Lin Yuan with a smiling face. Third senior brother. Lin Yuan's expression was solemn. Among the Qikuan Star Lord's 12 disciples, 3 had surpassed the 6th rank. This third senior brother was one of them. This is the virtual world of our Red Kuan lineage. The third senior brother, Gu Zhe, got up and brought Lin Yuan to the front of a vast continent. This continent was 100 times larger than Kanglin's star, with a massive peak rising in the center. Around this central peak, there stood 13 slightly smaller peaks. That over there will be your residence, little junior brother. The third senior brother, Gu Zhe, came to one of the 13 peaks. Seen from a distance, this peak indeed did not look large, especially when compared to the central peak's grandeur. But as Lin Yuan approached, he discovered that the size of this peak was nearly half that of Kanglin's star. As a peak master, you have the highest authority over this mountain. You may recruit disciples and servants, of course. This is the virtual world, so it's not of much significance. When you come to Qikuan Main Star one day, I will introduce everything in detail to you, said the third senior brother, Gu Zhe, as he brought Lin Yuan to the summit of this mountain and continued. Moreover, as the disciple of the teacher, you may peruse any evolution path recorded by the Red Kuan lineage. Any evolution path? Lin Yuan was inwardly stirred. A virtual screen appeared in front of him, flashing through numerous evolution paths. So many! Lin Yuan was slightly excited inside. Although he had gained a lot at the 7th star cave, all the evolution paths added together amounted to just over 100. But now, the evolution paths recorded by the Red Kuan lineage numbered at least 1,000, including not a few surpassing the 6th rank. The Xian Huang evolutionary path is not among them. Lin Yuan glanced through them and did not find the Xian Huang evolutionary path. Also, every time you break through, you may apply for Scarlet Spirit Liquid, said the third senior brother, Gu Zhe, with a smile. Scarlet Spirit Liquid? Lin Yuan was puzzled. The Scarlet Spirit Liquid is a unique resource of our Red Kuan lineage, not to be found outside, explained the third senior brother, Gu Zhe, with a smile. The use of Scarlet Spirit Liquid is to transform into the purest energy, replenishing oneself. If you, junior brother, are to break through from the 4th rank 10th level to the 11th level, there is no need to slowly absorb external energy to transform yourself. Just 1 drop of Scarlet Spirit Liquid is sufficient. The third senior brother, Gu Zhe, explained. I see. Lin Yuan understood. This meant that, as a disciple of the Qikuan Star Lord, Lin Yuan did not need to spend extra time on the most basic accumulation of energy. As long as his realm was prepared, he could break through without any restrictions. This was of significant meaning for Lin Yuan. Every time he shuttled back, Lin Yuan had to spend a large amount of money to buy rare treasures and spiritual objects from the universe to restore his full strength. Now, this would no longer be an issue. He could simply apply for the Scarlet Spirit Liquid. Since you are still weak right now, junior brother, the teacher has specially selected a guard troops for you along with 3 life-saving tokens. Third senior brother Gu Zhe paused, then continued to explain. The so-called guard troops are the personal forces of a Red Kuan lineage's peak master, led by a 6th rank evolver as the captain, with more than 10 5th rank evolvers as members. They are the close-range defense forces that protect the peak master. This guard troop is absolutely loyal, handpicked by the Qikuan Star Lord himself, and harbors no thoughts of rebellion. As for the 3 life-saving tokens, they are unique to Lin Yuan. The other 12 senior brothers never had such treatment. The 3 life-saving tokens were personally refined by the Qikuan Star Lord, and they would activate on their own once Lin Yuan encountered danger that he could not resist. Kanglin Star. Central Continent Manor. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. This is too exaggerated. Lin Yuan's expression was one of astonishment. Through third senior brother Gu Zhe's introduction, Lin Yuan had roughly understood the treatment afforded to a disciple of the Qikuan Star Lord. It mainly divided into 5 aspects. 1. Status. As one of the 13 peak masters, Lin Yuan's status within the Red Kuan lineage was second only to the Star Lord. Equal to the other 12 peak masters, he could mobilize the Evolver army of the Red Kuan lineage, provided that he met the conditions. 2. He could browse through the many evolution paths collected by the Red Kuan lineage. This was the most important thing for Lin Yuan, as with the collection of the Red Kuan lineage, he wouldn't lack evolution paths for comprehension before reaching the 6th rank. 3. He could apply for Scarlet Spirit Liquid. It saved Lin Yuan a considerable amount of wealth. 4. He owned a guard troop led by a 6th rank Evolver. 5. 3 life-saving tokens. I've made a huge profit indeed. Lin Yuan felt joy in his heart. No wonder the goddess of wisdom had advised him to give his all in the contest on the arena. The reward indeed far exceeded the effort. What Lin Yuan didn't know was, the goddess of wisdom had not predicted that he would become the Qikuan Star Lord's disciple. If he was merely the disciple of a peak master, the treatment and status would naturally be greatly reduced. The guard troop should have already set out by now, from the Qikuan main star to Kanglan Star. Even through wormhole shuttle it would take at least a month or 2. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Since the guard troop was to protect Lin Yuan, naturally they would be wherever Lin Yuan was. Becoming the disciple of a Star Lord, as long as I don't say anything, the Star Lord doesn't say anything, the few senior brothers don't say anything, and the 3 goddesses don't say anything, then no one will know. Lin Yuan changed his appearance and physique before participating in the 7-star cave trial. Even Fang Qing did not recognize him. A few days later, Fang Qing came looking for him, excited. Brother Lin, I have been accepted into the Red Kuan lineage. Fang Qing's tone was exhilarated as he shared the good news with Lin Yuan. Shortly after Lin Yuan left the 7th-star cave, Fang Qing had successfully comprehended the evolution path within the stone statue and passed the test. In fact, every session of the 7-star cave trial would have quite a few silver pattern challengers passing. Of course, compared to the huge number of over 1 million silver pattern challengers, the probability of finally passing the challenge was naturally extremely low. Although Fang Qing was a silver pattern challenger, as a successor of a fallen 6th rank power, he was very close to the standard of gold pattern in many aspects, at least stronger than the vast majority of silver patterns. Plus, he had an intelligent life form devising strategies for him in the background, so passing the 7-star cave trial was not an inconceivable feat. Congratulations! Lin Yuan nodded and said, in a few days, the 7-star cave trial will end. By then, I will meet with the various peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage along with the other evolvers who have passed the test. Just to be accepted as a disciple by one of the peak masters. Fang Qing couldn't help but fantasize. The peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage all had combat powers far surpassing those of the same rank. Not to mention that 3 of them were even beyond the 6th rank. Even when his teacher was alive, he wasn't nearly as powerful as the peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage. Various peak masters? Lin Yuan fell into a brief contemplation. He now should also count as one of the peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage, right? Thinking this, Lin Yuan's gaze towards Fang Qing became somewhat peculiar. Fang Qing, in his wildest dreams, could not imagine that the Red Kuan peak master, he looked up to with reverence, was far in the sky but also close at hand. Chapter 134 Continuous Breakthroughs. The Red Kuan lineage, overseen by 12 peak masters who stood high above, looking down upon the entire Qikuan star domain. Even among the surrounding star domains, the Red Kuan lineage was extremely dominant, and the Qikuan Star Lord's strength was formidable among those of the Star Lords. As long as Fang Qing could become a disciple under any of the peak masters, he could freely traverse within the Qikuan star domain. What Fang Qing didn't know was that there were no longer 12 peak masters in the Red Kuan lineage, but 13. However, Lin Yuan's becoming the 13th disciple of the Qikuan Star Lord had not yet been announced. For now, only the Star Lord and the 12 peak masters were aware of it. Lin Yuan estimated that before reaching the 6th rank, even if it were announced, it wouldn't be under the identity of Lin Yuan. Right? Big Brother Lin, how is your challenge going? Fang Qing asked curiously. He had been so caught up in expressing his excitement that he had forgotten to ask Lin Yuan about his progress in the challenges. Me? I didn't pass, Lin Yuan said frankly. As the 13th peak master of the Red Kuan lineage, it was predetermined that he couldn't recognize Fang Qing in the early stage. It wasn't that Lin Yuan didn't trust Fang Qing. Well, actually, Lin Yuan didn't entirely trust Fang Qing. It wasn't that he suspected Fang Qing would betray him, but that some information couldn't be kept secret just because you didn't want to share it. A 6th-rank spirit illusion evolutionist could skim through your memories with just one glance. Therefore, caution was necessary. Since the Qikuan Star Lord had repeatedly warned him about this, naturally Lin Yuan knew what to do. He wouldn't reveal anything to Fang Qing, not even to his own parents. However, Lin Yuan was only concealing this one aspect of his identity. He could enjoy all the benefits that came with being a peak master. The many evolution paths gathered by the Red Kuan lineage. For members of the lineage who wished to peruse these paths, there was a cost involved. But as a peak master, he could browse them at will. 6th rank. Lin Yuan's eyes were calm. If it had been before the 7-star cave challenge, he would have doubted his ability to reach the 6th rank. But now, Lin Yuan was almost certain he could step into the 6th rank. Over 100 6th-rank evolution paths, 16 evolution paths that went beyond the 6th rank, and that mysterious yellow evolution path that no challenger had comprehended for millennia. All of these were of immense help to Lin Yuan. Fang Qing chatted idly with Lin Yuan for a while before standing up and leaving. On his way back to his manor in the central continent, Fang Qing wore a puzzled look. How could Big Brother Lin possibly have failed the challenge? Truthfully, Fang Qing would rather believe he had failed than Lin Yuan. Given their interaction and sparring over the past days, Fang Qing felt that even if he trained for another 100 years, he might still not catch up to Lin Yuan's current level. Such a genius, even if considered across the entire Qikuan star domain, would shine brightly. How could he possibly fail the 7-star cave challenge? Indeed, it is somewhat strange. The voice of the white-bearded old man rang out. However, it's not impossible, the white-bearded old man analyzed seriously. Among the past 7-star cave challenges, aside from red pattern geniuses and a very few special challengers, even those with golden patterns have been eliminated on occasion. Of course, the likelihood of a golden pattern challenger being eliminated midway was extremely low, but not non-existent. If one was terribly unlucky and died in one of the initial star caves, they would naturally be disqualified. There's another possibility, the white-bearded old man continued, and that is Lin Yuan intentionally failing the 7-star cave challenge. Intentionally failing the challenge? Fang Qing's eyes widened. Who would pass up such an opportunity? Young Fang. The white-bearded old man glanced at Fang Qing. There are advantages to becoming a disciple of a peak master in the Red Kuan lineage, but there are also disadvantages. While being protected by a peak master, you must serve the Red Kuan lineage, follow the peak master's commands, and you might even have to go to the battlefields of different species. The white-bearded old man explained. In general, since the Qikuan Star Lord spent most of his time in seclusion, not dealing with worldly matters, the entire Red Kuan lineage essentially served the 12 peak masters. Central Continent Manor. Underground training area of the main building. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, continuing to contemplate the mysterious yellow evolution path. This evolution path was too profound and vast. After nearly 10 days of contemplation, Lin Yuan had only grasped 1% of the first-tier chapter. This was far beyond any evolution path Lin Yuan had encountered before. Mysterious yellow? Lin Yuan's entire being was immersed in it. In a daze, Lin Yuan found himself on an endless expanse of land. It bore an aura that was thick, ancient, and vast. Your against heaven's understanding allows you to comprehend the mysterious yellow evolution path, and your grasp of this path continues to deepen. Your against heaven's understanding allows you to comprehend the mysterious yellow evolution path, and your grasp of this path continues to deepen. Your against heaven's understanding allows you to comprehend the mysterious yellow evolution path, and your grasp of this path continues to deepen. The more Lin Yuan contemplated, the more astounded he became. His incomprehensible understanding allowed him to continuously analyze the essence of things. What kind of being created this evolution path? My martial path, evolutionary path, my Taiji Dao. Can it one day reach such a level? Lin Yuan pondered the mysterious yellow evolution path. 2 days later, Lin Yuan paused his contemplation. Not even 2%? Lin Yuan estimated the progress of his contemplation. This 2% was not of the entire mysterious yellow evolution path, but rather of the first-tier chapter of it. No hurry, take it slow. The one thing I have plenty of right now is time, Lin Yuan reassured himself. 4th-rank evolvers can live for 6,000 years, and 6th-rank evolvers from 20 to 50,000 years. Currently in his 20s, Lin Yuan was still young. Faced with such a long lifespan, he was not even a cub. Chapter 135. And Lin Yuan's time was far more than just the numbers on the surface. The shuttling through the door to the myriad realms, the passage of time in different worlds, none of these were accounted for. 4th rank, 11 segments. Days later, Lin Yuan opened his eyes again, his bodily aura having increased once more. The breakthrough in strength hadn't surprised Lin Yuan, who, under the premise of comprehending this multi-evolution path, had thought it better to hit his head against the wall if he couldn't advance. Inhale. Exhale. After the breakthrough, Lin Yuan's realm improved, and his body naturally began to absorb energy from the air, slowly transforming. Calculating the time, in just over a month, the guard troops should be here. Lin Yuan was not in a hurry to purchase cosmic rare treasures and spiritual objects to promote bodily transformation. As a disciple of the Qikuan Star Lord and one of the 13 peak masters of the Red Kuan lineage, Lin Yuan had the privilege to apply for Scarlet Spirit Liquid. This time, as the guard squad departed from the Qikuan main star, Lin Yuan had applied for a pot of Scarlet Spirit Liquid in advance and had it brought along by the guard squad. 1 to 2 months later, outside Kanglan Star, a dark spacecraft stopped. Finally reached the destination. Inside the cockpit of the spaceship sat 13 silhouettes. These 13 silhouettes had profound auras, especially the leading one, who, merely sitting there, subtly solidified the surroundings. This time we come to protect the peak master of the 13 peaks. If anything happens to the peak master, there is no need for us to continue existing, understand? The leading silhouette, a bald middle-aged man, stared at the distant Kanglan star and slowly spoke. Understood. The 12 silhouettes standing behind him said in unison. They were carefully selected by the Qikuan Star Lord, absolutely loyal. Otherwise, they couldn't possibly serve as personal guards for the peak master of the 13 peaks. Central Continent Manor. Lin Yuan had just finished his cultivation. He then received the information that the guard troops had arrived. Goddess of Wisdom. I have subordinates entering Kanglan Star. Lin Yuan connected with the Goddess of Wisdom and directly spoke. For a middle-grade life planet like Kanglan Star, the entrance of 6th-rank life forms is strictly prohibited. After all, a 6th-rank life form, also known as fallen star level, could cause calamity if they harbored ill intent when entering a planet, and even the planetary defense system wouldn't react quickly enough. It would be a complete disaster. Therefore, every 6th-rank life form, before descending onto a planet, needs to register, otherwise, once discovered, it would lead to a star domain level manhunt. After layers of authorization by the Goddess of Wisdom, Lin Yuan's guard squad finally passed through the checkpoints and arrived outside Central Continent Manor. Main Building Reception Hall. The 13 members of the guard squad stood respectfully in front of Lin Yuan. Peak Master. The bald middle-aged man bowed in greeting. Peak Master. The other 12 5th-rank guards also respectfully saluted. Rise. Lin Yuan curiously eyed the bald middle-aged man. This person should be the head of the guard squad, a 6th-rank evolver. To be honest, this was the first time Lin Yuan had seen a being of the 6th rank up close. What's your name? Lin Yuan asked. Peak Master, I am called Ho Ming. The bald middle-aged man spoke in a low voice. Following this, Lin Yuan asked the names of the other 12 guards in turn. From now on, you all will be the bodyguards of this manor. Unless absolutely necessary, do not reveal your strength, Lin Yuan instructed after a moment's thought. With his current identity, even if he wasn't openly known as a disciple of the Chikuan Star Lord, he was still a tournament champion and 4th-rank evolver. Hiring some bodyguards was only natural. Of course, this was limited to ordinary bodyguards. If others knew that Lin Yuan's bodyguards were of the 5th and 6th ranks, you should know that the strongest evolvers on Kanglan Star were only at the 5th rank, and their numbers didn't exceed 5. These few 5th-rank evolvers could only be fully mobilized by the Goddess of Wisdom. As for the 6th-rank evolvers, Kanglan Star, being a middle-grade life planet, could not attract evolvers of this level. Most 6th-rank evolvers resided on high-grade life planets or even at star system and star domain main stars. Also, from now on, don't call me Peak Master. Just call me Mr. Lin, Lin Yuan said. Although the title Peak Master was unlikely to be associated with the Peak Master of the Red Kuan lineage as long as the strengths of these 13 bodyguards were not exposed, it would still be better to avoid leaving any traces. Yes, Mr. Lin. The bald, middle-aged man Ho Ming immediately responded. From now on, I will be stationed in the main building, and everyone else will patrol the manor. Ho Ming asked. No problem. Lin Yuan nodded. Since the Chikuan Star Lord had appointed them as Lin Yuan's guard troops, he clearly trusted them. Therefore, Lin Yuan tried not to intervene in their protective arrangements as much as possible. This is the Scarlet Spirit Liquid that Mr. Lin requested. The bald middle-aged man Ho Ming took out a pot-shaped container. This is a life-saving token that the Star Lord asked me to give to Mr. Lin, Ho Ming said reverently, taking out 3 crimson tokens. Good. Lin Yuan put them away. Then we'll be leaving first. The bald middle-aged man Ho Ming promptly led 12 guards out of the main building. The underground training ground. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. In front of him was the pot-shaped container containing the Scarlet Spirit Liquid. Scarlet Spirit Liquid? Lin Yuan looked forward with anticipation. His 3rd senior brother had highly praised this spirit liquid, but since the Scarlet Spirit Liquid was exclusive to the Red Kuan lineage, Lin Yuan had never tried it before. Let's test it first. Lin Yuan opened the pot, and a drop of Scarlet Spirit Liquid floated out. This drop of Scarlet Spirit Liquid emitted a red glow, and merely by gazing at it, Lin Yuan could feel the vast energy contained within. Come. Lin Yuan's mind flickered slightly. The drop of Scarlet Spirit Liquid then flew into his mouth. Boom! As the spirit liquid entered his throat, it immediately transformed into a blazing energy, starting to be absorbed by every cell in Lin Yuan's body. Although named after the word red, the energy contained in the Scarlet Spirit Liquid was extremely gentle and didn't possess the fierce heat like that of the fire system. Not to mention that Lin Yuan's own Tao of Taiji, which included the Way of the Taiyang, could easily absorb this drop of Scarlet Spirit Liquid even without it. Transformation completed. Moments later, Lin Yuan opened his eyes, his face showing a look of satisfaction. This pot of Scarlet Spirit Liquid will be enough for me to reach the 6th rank. Lin Yuan looked at the pot-shaped container in front of him and solemnly put it away. 3 life-saving tokens? Lin Yuan took out 3 entirely crimson tokens and began to carefully inspect them. These 3 life-saving tokens were unique to Lin Yuan. The previous 12 disciples, or even the young disciples who had realized the mysterious yellow evolution path thousands of years ago just like Lin Yuan, had never had them. 3 tokens, though all are meant for saving life, have 3 different uses. Lin Yuan thought inwardly as he probed into the nature of the tokens. The first token was a teleportation token. If Lin Yuan were to face an irresistible attack, this token would automatically activate, forcibly tearing through space and teleporting him randomly. The second token was an attack token. It was to be activated by Lin Yuan himself. Just crush it, and it would unleash a terrifying blow, one that a 6th rank evolver could hardly withstand. Even those surpassing the 6th rank would need to tread carefully, lest they be severely injured. The third token was a defense token. Could form a protective barrier around Lin Yuan, blocking all attacks including mental and physical ones. This token was the most important because as soon as it was activated, the Chikuan Star Lord would instantly be notified and would come at full speed. The mentor thought of everything. Lin Yuan thought silently to himself. With a guard troop of 6th rank evolvers and these 3 life-saving tokens, it would be difficult for Lin Yuan to die even if he wanted to. Of course, it would be best to avoid using these measures if possible. Currently, Lin Yuan's public identity was merely that of a champion in a tournament, hardly worth the effort for different species to incur great costs. At most, they would secretly influence matters just like what had happened with Yao Qingqing before. Time passed. Another month went by. The underground training ground. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. The aura around him began to rise once more. Chapter 136. Fame spreads across the star domain. Congratulations to Shursan, the Peak Master. 4th rank, 12 segments. Lin Yuan opened his eyes, a smile spreading across his face. Benefiting from the tests in the 7-star cave, Lin Yuan had hardly delayed at the 11th segment of the 4th rank. In less than 2 months, he had smoothly stepped into the 12th segment of the 4th rank. The 12th segment of the 4th rank was the pinnacle of this rank, marking the end of this stage. Next, it should be the 5th rank. Lin Yuan's expression became slightly solemn. Even though he had been confident, breaking into the 5th rank was still not an easy task. Even for evolvers who were guided by a complete evolution path, there were various risks when breaking through a great realm. Like failure? Like going mad with power? Like exploding and dying? Moreover, Lin Yuan was pioneering the path ahead, and even with his against heaven's understanding providing protection, it definitely wouldn't be smooth sailing. Actually, the best method would be to use the door to the myriad realms to traverse, completing the 5th rank progress in an alternate world, confirming there are no issues, and then have my real body in the main world catch up. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The consciousness transfer function of the door to the myriad realms mainly had 3 uses. One was to sense other worlds' evolution paths and the essence of cultivation. 2 was to take advantage of different time flow rates to speed up cultivation. 3 was trial and error. Life's evolution was never fixed. Even with the same evolution path, different people might achieve different effects. But once one had walked the path once, the subsequent journey would naturally become familiar. Using the door to the myriad realms to project consciousness into an alternate world to explore the hidden dangers in the subsequent path of evolution was what trial and error entailed. In fact, the virtual world also had a trial and error function. But it definitely couldn't compare to the consciousness descent of the door to the myriad realms. After all, the former was only virtual, and no matter how realistic it got, it was still fake. There's still half a month before I can undergo the 4th traverse. Lin Yuan's mind moved to the depths of his sea of consciousness, gazing at the colossal, majestic gate of light. At this moment, the outer area of this gate of light was nearly filled, with only about 1/20th remaining in silence. I wonder what the world will be like on the 4th traverse. Lin Yuan was mildly curious. The only drawback of the door to the myriad realms was that it didn't allow one to choose the world they wanted to traverse to. So far, the 3 worlds that Lin Yuan had crossed into were all random, not his active choice. No, that's not right. A thought suddenly crossed Lin Yuan's mind. Perhaps it wasn't that he couldn't actively choose or was limited in the worlds he could traverse to. Instead, it was that the functionality of the door to the myriad realms hadn't been fully developed yet. The lighting of the door to the myriad realms was divided into 3 levels. The outer area, the inner area, and the core area. By illuminating the outer area, Lin Yuan could carry out consciousness descent traversing. By illuminating the inner area, Lin Yuan could opt for physical traversing. As for illuminating the core area, Lin Yuan only knew that this part of the area was related to the ability to bring items from alternate worlds back to the main world. As for more, he was not very clear, as he had never illuminated it before. The core area. Lin Yuan's expression fell into brief contemplation. Lighting the core area took too long, perhaps requiring hundreds or even hundreds of years. However, he could wait until, in the future, when he hit a major bottleneck and could no longer make progress regardless of how much he traversed, he might try waiting hundreds of years to illuminate the core area and see the effects. Whether he could actively choose the world to traverse, or according to Lin Yuan's requirements, lock down a world that met the criteria before traversing. Having broken through to the 12th segment of the 4th rank, Lin Yuan decided to rest. Just as he was about to leave the training ground, he noticed someone was contacting him. Third senior brother? Lin Yuan glanced at the contact and found it was his third senior brother Gu Zhe calling him. Whoosh! Lin Yuan's consciousness connected to the virtual world, appearing in his personal space. He then agreed to let his third senior brother in. Third senior brother Gu Zhe looked at Lin Yuan with a smile. Junior brother. Gu Zhe's mood was good as he smiled and asked, "How has recent cultivation been? The guard troops should have arrived by now, right?" "Pretty good. They have arrived for some time now." Lin Yuan replied politely. "Junior brother, you really don't plan to come to the Qikuan main star? I can personally come to fetch you," third senior brother Gu Zhe inquired. "At the main star, with the teacher present, it's much safer than other places. My strength is still weak now. I'll go after reaching the 6th rank. With the guard troops and the life-saving token bestowed by the teacher, it's the same wherever I am." Lin Yuan shook his head and said. In reality, this was just an excuse for Lin Yuan. The Qikuan main star was the most prosperous place in the Qikuan star domain. Their powerful evolvers were everywhere, and 6th rank fallen star warriors were no longer so rare, especially since there were strong beings like the Qikuan star lord present. However, the more it was so, the more careful Lin Yuan needed to be. After all, he couldn't guarantee that the door to the myriad realms deep in his mind could escape the Qikuan star lord's perception. The virtual world simply couldn't replicate the door to the myriad realms in his mind, but in reality, it was uncertain whether the Qikuan star lord would be completely unaware. Of course, Lin Yuan also understood that the Qikuan star lord would most likely not detect the existence of the door to the myriad realms. But it was better to be cautious in all matters. That's true. Third senior brother Gu Zhe didn't think too deeply about it. Instead, he felt that Lin Yuan was being thorough. Given his status, if he suddenly left the Qikuan main star, it would surely attract the attention of those with ulterior motives. Even if he left secretly, it might not be possible to deceive everyone. If other forces became aware that he had made a special trip to Kanglan Star, Lin Yuan's true identity could very well be exposed. Compared to the guard troops secretly cultivated by the Qikuan Star Lord. Chapter 137. Third senior brother Gu Zhe attracts a lot of attention. There's another matter. Third senior brother Gu Zhe said, "We have already announced to the outside world that there will be a 13th peak master in the Red Kuan lineage. As for your identity, you are a prodigy who was serendipitously discovered by our teacher during his travels through the universe. He brought you back to the main star and nurtured you for several years before making it public." Third senior brother added. Understood. Lin Yuan nodded. This narrative was entirely to protect him. By setting the timeline to several years ago, it would prevent others from making connections to this session's competitive matches. Since the Red Kuan lineage is welcoming a new peak master, naturally, we will hold a grand celebration. At that time, forces from both the Qikuan star domain and the surrounding star domains will come to participate in the congratulations. Of course, all this will take place in the virtual world. Little junior brother, remember to make an appearance and take part then. Third senior brother Gu Zhe said with a smile. Speaking of which, it has been quite a while since we held any significant ceremony. Little junior brother, you can have a good experience then. Good, Lin Yuan said. Since it was in the virtual world, where one's appearance and figure could be freely altered, no one would be able to know his real identity. As the news of several peak masters from the Red Kuan lineage was made public, the news of the Qikuan Star Lord taking a new disciple spread like a hurricane, swiftly reaching the Qikuan Star Domain and many surrounding star domains. The Qikuan Star Lord was already famous and powerful, garnering the attention of countless individuals. In the Chiquin star domain, a high-level life world, the Guangzhou star, the Guangzhou family. As the most powerful force of a high-level life planet, even the entire planet bore the family name. The Guangzhou family had more than one fallen star warrior in residence. The Chiquin Star Lord has taken a new disciple? The 13th peak master of the Red Kuan lineage? Clan head Guangzhou Han of the Guangzhou family looked at the intelligence report before him and fell into deep thought. He remembered, 10,000 years ago, his father, a powerful fallen star warrior whose name resonated throughout the surrounding star domains, had paid a great price, taking him, who at the time was a young child displaying terrifying potential, to the Chiquin main star to ask the Chiquin Star Lord to take him as a disciple. The outcome was that they were driven out without even seeing the Chiquin Star Lord's face. This incident had caused a tremendous psychological shadow on Guangzhou Han. Before that event, Guangzhou Han's talent was extraordinary, hailed as a once-in-a-10,000-years genius of Guangzhou Star. A celebration ceremony. Guangzhou Han glanced at the time of the Red Kuan lineage's celebration ceremony. He intended to participate in person. Firstly, to see for himself what kind of person this 13th peak master, who had caught the Chiquin Star Lord's eye, was. Secondly, as the Red Kuan lineage was the most powerful force in the Chiquin star domain, holding a celebration ceremony, his Guangzhou family naturally should make an appearance to show support. Chenxi main star. The most powerful force, the Dawn Association. The Chiquin Star Lord has taken a new disciple? Chairman of the Dawn Association tapped his right hand on the desk in front of him, his face showing signs of surprise. I had thought the Star Lord would no longer be interested in taking disciples, thought the chairman of the Dawn Association. Well, that's fine. I shall make a trip to this celebration ceremony. It will be a good opportunity to catch up with a few old friends. The chairman of the Dawn Association had his own considerations. Moreover, the emergence of a new peak master within the Red Kuan lineage could potentially alter the existing dynamics of the Chiquin star domain. He wanted to know what kind of person this 13th peak master was in order to plan for the future. Yaoguang star domain. On a prosperous main star. That old geezer Chiquin has accepted a new disciple? A mysterious entity became intrigued. Isn't he afraid his disciple will be assassinated by different species again? On saying this, the mysterious being seemed to realize something. Then again, since he dares to make it public, he must be prepared and won't repeat the tragedy of 10,000 years ago. The emergence of the 13th peak master from the Red Kuan lineage continued to spread its influence. One by one, powerful evolvers and numerous substantial forces began to partake in the celebration ceremony of the Red Kuan lineage. After all, the ceremony was held in the virtual world where, no matter how distant the congregation, one only needed to pay for transportation to attend. If it were held in the real world, many evolvers and forces, even if they wanted to participate, might not be able to due to various constraints. Do you know the origins of the Chiquin Star Lord's new disciple? Indeed, what kind of background does he have? With the Star Lord's stature, he presumably wouldn't take on disciples anymore, right? I heard that he is a genius discovered by the Star Lord during his travels through the universe, on some barbaric wilderness planet. TSK, to be called a genius by the Star Lord, how extraordinary must his talent be? Could it possibly be one of those legendary bloodlines or physiques mentioned in the human race's tales? Countless evolvers were discussing animatedly, speculating about the new disciple the Star Lord had recently taken under his wing. It couldn't be helped. Such an event was a rare occurrence, something that could be called a once-in-a-millennium affair. The virtual world, Chiquin main star. Peak 13 at the highest place, the Great Hall. Lin Yuan and his 12 senior apprentice brothers were seated. Below the Grand Hall were countless figures, densely packed, all evolvers from various parts of the universe who had come to congratulate Lin Yuan. Little junior brother, that person is from the Gongji family, not weak at all. He once crossed fists with me years ago. Little junior brother, the one sitting in the fourth row, isn't from the human race. He's from a different species that pledged loyalty to our human race. Having submitted for 1,000,000 years, now he's one of us. Little junior brother. From morning till now, the senior brothers periodically introduced Lin Yuan to others, for the Chiquan star domain was too vast, exceeding 1,000,000 life planets, and one could imagine the number of evolvers who came to celebrate. If it weren't for the senior brothers, who had set a series of preconditions for participating in the celebration ceremony, the number of people present would likely be 10 to 100 times greater. Lin Yuan was nodding constantly on the side. He could feel the enthusiasm from his senior brothers. The Red Kuan lineage was extremely united, and the 12 senior brothers understood that as long as Lin Yuan didn't die prematurely, for an incredibly long time to come, they would all be brothers. In the Cosmic Human Alliance, the bond between senior and junior brothers might be even higher than that of blood relatives. After all, blood relatives may die of old age, but senior and junior brothers, usually existing at the same level, have similar lifespans capable of accompanying each other for a long time. Right now, Lin Yuan might be weak, but they believed that soon he would catch up with them and perhaps even surpass them. Below the Great Hall, in a certain corner, Fang Qing was sitting at the same table with several evolvers who had just joined the Red Kuan lineage. Is that the Peak Master of 13? Next to Fang Qing, a gentle and weak-looking girl curiously said. He looks quite young. I wonder if I could become his disciple. The weak-looking girl spoke softly. Upon saying this, the eyes of the others at the table suddenly brightened. Even though the Peak Master of 13 was the weakest and had the smallest foundation, compared to the vast number of disciples under the previous 12 Peak Masters, becoming the disciple of the 13 Peak Master seemed to be an easier path to stand out due to lesser competition. And if you followed the 13 Peak Master while he was still weak, they would be the old-timers when he grew strong. By that time, they would be the foundational assets that would bless future generations. 13 Peak Master. Fang Qing glanced around, looking at the extremely lively ceremony, and felt somewhat lost. If Lin brother had also passed the test, we could be sitting together drinking now. Fang Qing muttered to herself, reminiscing about Lin Yuan, and abruptly drained the wine in her cup. All right. Just then, the Grand Hall's senior apprentice brother got up, walked to the entrance of the hall, and looked towards the countless evolvers who had come to congratulate them below. Now, let's congratulate our junior brother. Celebrate the 13 Peak Master. The voice of the senior apprentice brother reached everyone's ears. Instantly, countless people stood up. Raising the wine cups in their hands, they looked towards Lin Yuan, who was seated in the hall. Among them were the lords of high-level life planets, strong evolvers, and even heirs to vast financial empires. But at this moment, everyone's gaze was on Lin Yuan, because they all understood that from now on, the Chiquan star domain would have one more high-ranking individual. To the 13 Peak Master, cheers! To the 13 Peak Master, cheers! To the 13 Peak Master, cheers! Numerous voices rose, deafening. Chapter 138. Star Domain Evolution Rankings, Founder's Circle. Human Race Frontier. This was a desolate expanse of starry sky. Within tens of light years, there existed no resource planets or life planets. At that moment, 3 massive consciousnesses penetrated the starry sky, descending upon this location. Are we all gathered? Let's discuss the important matters now. The 3 massive consciousnesses rapidly exchanged information, quickly completing the intelligence swap. These 3 massive consciousnesses, from different species, were responsible for summarizing intelligence within the human race. There was no choice. The pressure the human race brought upon the surrounding species was too immense. Even the supremely arrogant insect race was forced to form an alliance with other species, to jointly counteract the human race. Right? The first massive consciousness that had spoken emitted. The Chiquan Star Lord has recently taken a disciple, which needs attention. The Chiquan Star Lord was extremely adept at mentoring disciples. Among the 12 disciples he had taken, 3 had surpassed the 6th rank, a frighteningly high probability. Since his disciple from 10,000 years ago was assassinated, the Chiquan Star Lord's enthusiasm had cooled, and he hadn't taken any disciples ever since. This time, however, he broke his usual practice and took a disciple, evidently holding high expectations. I have also heard about this matter, that disciple's potential and talents must be quite exceptional. Otherwise he wouldn't attract Chikuin to take him as a disciple. What now? Should this person be added to the assassination list? The second massive consciousness spoke. Rather than waiting for this new disciple to grow, it would be better to nip him in the bud. Added to the assassination list? Even if he is added, what then? Do you know the identity of the person? The third massive consciousness spoke. Upon this statement, the other two massive consciousnesses fell silent. Indeed, up to now, their knowledge about the new disciple recently taken by the Chikuin Star Lord was pitifully scant. The official statement from Red Kuin lineage is that this new disciple was discovered by the Chikuin Star Lord during his travels through the universe on some planet, then brought back to be nurtured for a few years before being officially. I find that possibility unlikely. Not long ago, Chikuin Star Lord initiated the 7-star cave test, then announced the acceptance of this new disciple. Both events' timing seems too coincidental. The three massive consciousnesses had thoughts that operated exceedingly fast, soon linking this new disciple with the recent competition. 7-star cave test? To my knowledge, the test of the 7-star cave initiated by the Chikuin Star Lord selected testers from 120,000 life planets in the Dawn star system. Over 1.2 million testers entered into the 7-star cave world. Could it possibly be that you guys want to include all these 1.2 million evolvers on the assassination list? The second massive consciousness said. What does assassination mean? Assassinating 1 or 2 people, that's called assassination. Assassinating 1 or 2 million people, that's called slaughter. If the different species had such capability, why would they form an alliance? They could simply exterminate human civilization directly. Indeed, the other two massive consciousnesses also found it troublesome. That the new disciple came from the 7-star cave test was merely their speculation, and even if it was true, they were unable to proceed to the next step. The scope was simply too broad. Of course, with the strength of the different species, if they really threw caution to the wind, it's not just about erasing 1.2 million evolvers, even erasing the entire Dawn star system could be done directly. But that would then necessitate a larger, more unacceptable price to be paid afterward. Forget it. Let's see how things unfold. After discussing for a long time, the three massive consciousnesses decided to temporarily stand down. 10,000 years ago, that disciple of the Chikuin Star Lord had exposed himself. If this new disciple leaks any information in the future, there would be no harm in taking action then. Even if he didn't leak any information, it would merely mean the addition of one more existence surpassing the 6th rank. For the overall war trend between the human race and the surrounding different species, it wouldn't make much difference. Kanglan Star. Central Continent Manor. I suppose I'm already under the attention of the different species? Lin Yuan sat in the underground training arena, thinking to himself. The celebration ceremony held by Red Kuin lineage made too much noise. Countless evolvers and major powers were paying attention. Surely those different species must have noticed as well. Of course, even if Red Kuin lineage hadn't held a celebration, it was not certain to escape the surveillance of the different species. Skulking about may instead have drawn more significant attention from the different species. Considering this, it might as well be more straightforward and reveal himself, especially since the different species didn't know Lin Yuan's true identity. Lin Yuan predicted that the different species at most might link him to the 7-star cave test initiated by the Chikuin Star Lord. But that would be all. Among the 1.2 million testers who entered the 7-star cave, the range was too vast to be investigated. Even if, for argument's sake, they traced it back to Lin Yuan and attempted assassination, under the protection of Ho Ming, a 6th-rank evolver, it would not pose any threat. Unless the different species sent an existence surpassing the 6th rank, but with the 3 life-saving tokens bestowed by the Chikuin Star Lord, even an existence surpassing the 6th rank couldn't kill Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan felt that the different species likely wouldn't send an existence surpassing the 6th rank to assassinate him, even if they knew his real identity. After all, in the eyes of outsiders, even if he were taken as a disciple by the Chikuin Star Lord, his ultimate limit would just be the same as his eldest senior brother, and his second and third senior brothers, becoming an existence surpassing the 6th rank. Completely not worth sacrificing an assassin surpassing the 6th rank. In the territory of the human race, if the different species dared to carry out an assassination, the assassin basically couldn't escape. It would be a one-for-one trade. Continue training. Lin Yuan closed his eyes and resumed his training. Whatever the time, the most important thing was one's own strength. Without strength, everything else was just talk. Even with the protection of a Star Lord, one would face the ultimate limit of life, and only by continuously growing stronger and breaking through can one persist indefinitely. Chapter 139. The Mysterious Yellow Evolutionary Path. After 2 or 3 months of comprehension, Lin Yuan had progressed to 1/10 of the first-tier chapter of the Mysterious Yellow Evolutionary Path. What exactly is this evolutionary path? Even with my against heaven's understanding, I comprehend it so slowly. Other evolvers, even if ideally suited to cultivate this path, would find it as challenging as ascending to the heavens to fully comprehend it, right? Doubt surfaced in Lin Yuan's heart. Could it be that comprehending this evolutionary path requires some specific method? Or some sort of auxiliary means, an item? Lin Yuan thought to himself in silence. The Chiquan Star Lord had not provided him with a detailed introduction to the mysterious yellow evolutionary path, saying only to retreat for a while and discuss it after coming out. Stop the comprehension for now. Integrate the martial Tao evolutionary path. Lin Yuan collected his thoughts. Now that he was at the 4th rank 12 segments, essentially at the end of the 4th rank domain, he had the confidence to organize the 4th rank chapter of the martial Tao evolutionary path. Reviewing the path he had taken was very helpful for Lin Yuan. With his against heaven's understanding, new inspiration burst forth every moment. Half a day later, Lin Yuan opened his eyes again. It's about time. Lin Yuan let out a light breath. The 4th rank chapter of the martial Tao evolutionary path was essentially ready. Goddess of Wisdom. Lin Yuan connected to the Goddess of Wisdom, intending to upload the 4th rank chapter. As the disciple of the Star Lord and the Peak Master of the Red Kuan lineage's 13 peaks, Lin Yuan had not given up on publishing subsequent evolutionary paths. Firstly, not only was there income from the merit points, but also a sizable share of the revenue. Countless citizens of the Human Alliance, with each purchase of the martial Tao evolutionary path, Lin Yuan would receive a 30% cut. This income streamed in continuously and would increase as the martial Tao evolutionary path rose to higher levels. Secondly, as Lin Yuan joined the Red Kuan lineage and accessed more information, he realized that publicizing and spreading his own evolutionary path seemed to have a deeper meaning. Take the ancient gods' evolution path as an example. The ancient gods in the depths of the stars have existed since the beginning of the universe. They exist aloof without any ties to a race, enjoying freedom. Despite this, these ancient gods still spread the ancient gods' evolution path that mimics themselves. The official explanation given by the Human Alliance is that the evolvers of the ancient gods' evolution path, once deeply cultivated, may become vessels for the descent of those ancient gods. But how significant could such a weak vessel really be to an ancient god? Regardless, even the ancient gods are striving to disseminate their evolution paths. Lin Yuan continued to refine the martial Tao evolutionary path to broaden its reach. To say it had no benefits would be incorrect, but it definitively had no drawbacks. As Lin Yuan swiftly uploaded the content of the 4th rank chapter. In a mysterious space countless light-years away from Kanglan Star. Huge screens flickered rapidly and colossal computational power frenetically assessed and extrapolated the value of the 4th rank chapter of the martial arts evolution system. The 4th rank chapter uploaded by Lin Yuan was mainly divided into 2 parts. The first part was within the divine arms world, consisting of 100 divine weapons representing deeper manifestations of the world's essential rules, more profound than the 3rd rank chapter. The second part was the over 100 evolutionary paths comprehended in the 7-star cave world, and the vast and abstruse mysterious yellow evolution path. A deeper engagement with the rules detected in the 4th rank chapter commence reevaluation of the potential of the martial path evolutionary path. Evaluation complete. The current Marshall Path evolutionary path has a 10% chance of advancing to 5th rank evolutionary path, a 90% chance of advancing to 6th rank evolutionary path, and a 1% chance of advancing to 7th rank evolutionary path. The potential of advancing to 7th rank has been flagged, triggering Article 13 of the Charter. Contingency plans generated for human citizen with ID number 123 *******************************************************************************************e Security clearance elevated, and the founder's virtual world activated. Commence evaluation of the 4th rank chapter's value. 100,000 merit points. No need to seek authorization from the nearest highest ranking citizen. After uploading the 4th rank chapter of the Marshall Path evolutionary path, Lin Yuan began contemplating the path of the 5th rank. According to the standards set by human civilization, 5th rank evolvers are considered the strongest life forms on the surface of a planet. With their full force, they can cause the tectonic plates to tear, leading to various natural disasters. 5th rank evolvers can wipe out all life on a life planet in a short time. Therefore, 5th rank evolvers are also referred to as continent-sinking rank. The strongest evolvers of a middle-grade life planet usually only reach the 5th rank. As for the 6th rank, without a special reason, it is rare for a 6th rank life to stay on a middle-grade life planet for an extended period. Respected citizen Lin Yuan, after the final determination, your 4th rank chapter is worth 100,000 merit points. It was at this moment that the solemn and cold voice of the goddess of wisdom came through. 100,000 merit points? A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. Though it was within expectations, receiving such a high evaluation from the goddess of wisdom still made Lin Yuan feel delighted. 100,000 merit points. This meant that the value of the 4th rank chapter alone surpassed the combined value of the 1st tier chapter, the 2nd layer chapter, and the 3rd rank chapter that Lin Yuan had directly uploaded. 100,000 merit points, if placed on the battlefields of the human race's frontiers, who knows how many 5th rank and 6th rank beings of different species would need to be killed to exchange for such a vast amount of merit points. Let's have a look at the updated information on the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Lin Yuan opened the network panel to check the section on Marshall Path evolutionary path. A 10% chance to advance to the 7th rank evolution path? Certainty settled in Lin Yuan's heart. After assimilating the essence of over 100 6th rank evolution paths, along with 16 evolution paths that surpassed the 6th rank, and one unfathomable mysterious yellow evolution path, if the Marshall Path evolutionary path still had no hope of advancing to the 7th rank evolution pathway, Lin Yuan really wouldn't know how else to reach the 7th rank. No rush, no rush. Lin Yuan steadied his mind. Although the current Marshall Path evolutionary path only had a 10% chance of advancing to the 7th rank, that was because the Marshall Path evolutionary path had only reached the 4th rank chapter thus far. In the future, once Lin Yuan developed the 5th stage section and the 6th rank chapter, the likelihood of advancing to the 7th rank would inevitably increase significantly. This was also the experience Lin Yuan had summed up after uploading the 1st tier chapter, the 2nd layer chapter, the 3rd rank chapter, and the 4th rank chapter. When it was the 2nd layer chapter, the Marshall Path evolutionary path hardly had any hope of advancing to the 6th rank evolution path. But now, there was a 90% certainty of advancing to the 6th rank. Now, the ranking of the Marshall Path evolutionary path is... A thought flickered in Lin Yuan's heart. As early as when the 3rd rank chapter was uploaded, the Marshall Path evolutionary path had topped the evolution ranking, becoming the 1st. But this 1st place was on the Kanglin evolution ranking. The paths Lin Yuan had surpassed were all those born from Kanglin star. As for beyond Kanglin star, the Dawn star system, to say nothing of the Chikuan star domain, at least when Lin Yuan uploaded the 3rd rank chapter, he didn't rank anywhere on the star system evolution ranking or the star domain evolution ranking. In this respect, Lin Yuan didn't find it strange at all. When the 3rd rank chapter was uploaded, the potential limit of the Marshall Path evolutionary path was the 6th rank evolution path. A 6th rank evolution path might be extremely rare on Kanglin star, a middle-grade life planet, but in the grand scheme of the entire Chikuan star domain it was quite common. After all, the number of 6th rank fallen star warriors was there. As 6th rank evolvers, they definitely cultivated 6th rank evolution paths, or even ones that surpassed 6th rank. Marshall Path Evolutionary Path, Chikuin Star Domain Evolution Ranking, 100th place. Lin Yuan was slightly surprised to see the ranking of the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path. In the Chikuin Star Domain Evolution Ranking, the top 100 were all 6th-rank evolution paths. The top 50 were outright 7th-rank evolution paths, although the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path also had the potential to surpass the 6th rank. It was ultimately not yet a 6th-rank evolution path. The ranking of the evolution paths on the evolution ranking is determined based on multiple factors, including potential. The Marshall Path Evolutionary Path, just at the 4th rank, has a 10% chance of advancing to the 7th rank, apparently outstripping many long-established 6th-rank evolution paths in potential. Lin Yuan speculated internally. After checking the latest ranking of the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path, Lin Yuan then looked at the new permissions and features unlocked after uploading the 4th-rank chapter. Founders Virtual World Permissions enabled. Founders. Lin Yuan became interested. The founders mentioned here must be the originators who pioneered various evolution paths. For human civilization, these founders are national treasure-like figures, and their identity information is considered top secret. And the founders' virtual world, surely, is a space provided for these founders to interact and discuss. Thinking this, Lin Yuan immediately activated the permissions and entered the founders' virtual world. Chapter 140 Level 5 Citizen, the 4th Shuttle. Chikuin Prime Virtual World. Central Plaza Area. For any planet-level virtual world, the Central Plaza area is always the most attention-grabbing place. Here stand the majestic and tall evolution rankings, gathering the strongest 100 evolutionary paths born from over 1 million life planets in the star domain. Even if the popularity of the arena district surged due to tournament events, as soon as the tournaments ended, the Central Plaza area buzzed with activity once again. However, on this particular early morning, the 100th place on the star domain level evolution ranking quietly changed to a different evolutionary path. Damn! Look quick! The evolution rankings have changed. Immediately, evolvers noticed this and started discussing heatedly. Even if it was only the last 100th place, one must know that this is a star domain level evolution ranking, with each listed evolutionary path having emerged from countless others. The evolutionary paths ranked in the top 100 of the Chikuin evolution rankings, even the one in 100th place, are all of the most cutting-edge 6th rank, holding the hope of advancing to the 7th rank evolutionary pathway. The Marshall Path Evolutionary Path? What kind of evolutionary path is that? Heavens! This evolutionary path, is it only 4th rank? A 4th rank evolutionary path surpassing a large number of 6th rank evolutionary paths to enter the Chikuin evolution rankings? The plaza was full of stunned people. The scope of the Chikuin evolution rankings includes the entire Chikuin star domain. Therefore, the rankings are often subject to change. With such a large population base, the probability of giving rise to top-notch 6th rank evolutionary paths also greatly increases. But even with frequent changes, even when breaking into the top 100, it should be the 6th rank evolutionary paths that make it. What the hell is a 4th rank evolutionary path? It was as if a group of students, all around 18 or 19 years old, just entered a higher educational institution, and suddenly, an 8 or 9-year-old child appeared among them, making the other students feel somewhat awkward. The evolution rankings definitely don't make mistakes. They have been verified multiple times by the 3 goddesses, which means this 4th rank evolutionary path truly surpasses those top-tier 6th rank paths in the overall evaluation. Let me take a closer look. The Marshall Path Evolutionary Path. Someone couldn't wait any longer and began pulling up more information about the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path. The Marshall Path Evolutionary Path originated on Kanglan Star, an ordinary middle-grade life planet in the Dawn Star system. When the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path first appeared, it only had the 1st-tier chapter. Afterward, it updated the subsequent stages every 6 months or so. From the 1st-tier chapter to the present 4th-rank chapter, the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path has not been around for more than 5 years. And yet, merely the Marshall Path Evolutionary Path of the 4th rank holds the potential to ascend to the 7th rank evolutionary pathway? Big shot. This must be the research achievement of some high-ranking evolver scholar from our human alliance. On the plaza, numerous evolvers and high-ranking citizens, although engaged in constant debate, shared a common viewpoint. That is, the founder of this evolutionary path must be some prestigious evolver scholar occupying a high position. Here one must mention a well-known fact. Generally speaking, founders of an evolutionary path fall into two categories. The first type is those who forge the path as they cultivate it, like Lin Yuan, who develops the evolutionary path to the same realm that he has cultivated to himself. However, such founders are extremely rare. As for the second type, they are those high-rank evolver scholars who, from a position of great authority, develop and create entirely new evolutionary paths. The latter represents the mainstream among the evolutionary path founders of the human alliance. After all, for high-rank evolvers to create new evolutionary paths, they have significant advantages in both experience and efficiency. Just like teachers in schools, even those teaching at the most basic level at least have a university degree, if not a doctorate from a research institute. From a higher vantage point, it's easier to identify and solve problems. Because of this common knowledge, the vast majority on the plaza believed that the Marshall Path evolutionary path was established by a seasoned evolver scholar. After all, the time interval for Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today.